I love the YouTube car community. There are so many great channels out there, and I want to show you some that you might not know about. This is my favorite idea I've ever had. I just had to watch YouTube all week. It was great. These are all channels that I subscribe to and I think are doing a great job. They have less than 500,000 subs. At least they did when we shot this. Of course, I might miss some channels, so if you think people are sleeping on some of your faves, tag them down in the comments and let people know about them. I'm gonna go from lowest sub count to highest. It's not a ranking, okay? I'll leave links to all these channels in the description so you can check them out after this video is over. Let's go. At around 30,000 subs is Drifts and Lifts.
What's up guys? Drifts and Lifts. I'm just gonna go film some drifts.
I found this channel back when we were researching the Volvo 240 episode of Up to Speed. If you guys are Up to Speed fans, you know that we start every episode with some crazy clip. Drifts and Lifts is run by Colton McDonald. He lives up in Canada. At first, the channel was mostly devoted to compilations like the one I found and lifting videos. As the name suggests, this dude can deadlift a lot. But over the years, Colton has started to focus more on handheld vlog style content, as well as mods and repair tutorials, all centered around Volvos. I don't even own a Volvo and I watch these things. I really like Drifts and Lifts for a few reasons. The first is how raw the videos are. They're not overly stylized with crazy edits. It's very honest.
I apologize guys, I know the paint does not look good.
Second, he goes out to these woods with his buddies and they just hoon their cars without a care in the world. They crash into each other. Looks super fun, reminds me of my friends back home. And lastly, Colton is legitimately a great driver, and seeing him pull off these crazy drifts in a regular old Volvo is super impressive. So Drifts and Lifts, check it out.
Oh no.
If you're less about drifts and more about grip and diving deep into the nuances of driving and memorizing track layouts to get the best possible lap time, I suggest you check out Driver 61, sitting at 76,000 subs. Scott Mansell is a professional racer and driving coach. I found his channel when I was really into driving sims like Assetto Corsa and wanted to improve my lap time at Spa-Francorchamps. Turns out I was approaching Eau Rouge completely wrong, and now the aliens only beat me by 5 seconds. So thank you, Scott. They're hacking, I'm gonna report them. Aliens is a very inside sim racing term for people who are really good. I'm not gonna lie, Driver 61 is a pretty technical channel, but if you're a big driving geek like me or just want to improve your sim lap time, Scott is a great resource for knowledge. But lately, he hasn't been posting very often, so come back, Driver 61, I miss you. This next channel isn't necessarily a car channel. Ronald Finger started his channel over 10 years ago. The channel really took off when he started experimenting with 3D printing, but that's not what I want to talk about. Ronald Finger is right in the middle of a 10-part series focused on the restoration of his 1985 Pontiac Fiero, which is very engaging, and I'm not even into Fieros. Ronald doesn't upload super often, but when he does, it's totally worth the wait. The guy clearly loves filmmaking, but doesn't let that get in the way of the real substance of his videos, which is the work he does on camera. I think some channels get a little too steezy, we might be guilty of that sometimes, and you lose sense of what you really came to watch, but not Ronald. His videos are somehow technical, funny, and bingeable all at the same time, and it's very impressive. If you like Formula 1 and you're not subbed to Chain Bear F1, what the f are you even doing with your life, dude? Sorry. I've learned more about the sport and the technology in it from Chain Bear than any other channel, and I'm straight up in love with this stuff. It's so good. Chain Bear is sitting around 235,000 subscribers. If you're into infographic heavy content like Vox, Wendover, or CPG Grey, you're gonna love this channel. Chain Bear excels at using graphics and found footage to make complicated concepts and systems super easy to understand. So easy that the likes of me can get it. My brain doesn't work right, and I understand how MGUK works. That's cool. Like any sport, Formula 1 can seem difficult to get into. There's a lot of history and rules and strategy to learn, and that's what kept me from watching for a long time. It was pretty intimidating. If that's the case for you, I urge you to give Chain Bear a shot. He'll make it easier, and dare I say, make you like the sport. This next channel hasn't uploaded a video in over 3 years. Tax the Rich is all about driving supercars the way they were meant to be driven, in and around barns, tractors, and other farm equipment with reckless abandon, often covered in mud afterwards. The minds behind Tax the Rich have gone to great lengths to protect their identity. I mean, they're doing a burnout in a Bugatti EV110 with a bag on their head. What more could you ever want from a car channel? There are articles out there that make convincing cases as to who is behind Tax the Rich 100, but I like the mystery. And since they're anonymous, you can imagine that you're the one drifting a Ferrari or doing Brodies in a Rolls Royce. Tax the Rich, if you're watching this, please make more stuff. We need a LaFerrari rally video. Okay, my next pick is possibly my favorite build series on the entire internet, which is weird because I'm not super into minis. You must check out Bad Obsession Motorsport. What first got me into this channel is their ongoing series on their mini rally car. Seems pretty standard, right? Well, it's not. They're gonna take the all-wheel drive system and engine from a Toyota Celica all-track and put it underneath a Mini. That's freaking sick. But it's not the only reason I watch. As you can probably tell by now, I like channels that get technical. But what hosts Nick Blackburn and Richard Brunning have done is very impressive. They successfully mix a crazy blend of fabrication knowledge and attention to detail together with a great on-screen chemistry. And topped it off with a genuinely funny and super dry British sense of humor.
Time for a well-earned cup of tea, I reckon, and a couple of chocolate hobnobs.
Brits are just funny, man. They just are. This channel is similar to Ronald Fingers in that the uploads are about a month in between, but the wait is so well worth it because you know they put the same amount of care into their videos as they do into their build itself. While the videos aren't super flashy, everything else has very nice production value, although I'm kind of getting worried that the build's never going to be finished because it's taken a while. I've got 4 channels left, which is appropriate because this guy just broke 400K pretty recently. Gingium? Gingium seems like he's got it all figured out. He's got multiple projects going on, and the dude can freaking TIG weld, okay? Gingium's channel trajectory is pretty interesting. He started out doing gaming vids with games like Skyrim, then he went to Forza, and then finally made the jump to real-life car vlogs about 3 years ago when he started Project Brop, which is focused on his Smurf Blue NA Miata. I love this car. But what I really like about Gingium's channel, Gingium, I don't know, Gingium, I'm gonna say Gingium. What I really like about Gingium's channel is the sheer number of projects going on at the same time. He's got a drift truck, another Miata built for rally, an Audi that he's turning into a drift car. He turned a short bus into a tow rig, and that blue Miata I mentioned earlier, he put a turbo in it. It's sick. What I really admire about Gingium is his willingness to include his mistakes in his vlogs. You can see him get frustrated, but that's real. Working on cars is frustrating.
These bolts are turbo square, not Torx. Just give me normal bolts, gosh.
And Gingium's vlogs reflect that. It never goes to plan, so why would you let your audience think otherwise? It's very honest. All right, at 430K is, in my opinion, one of the most underappreciated channels on YouTube, Grindhard Plumbing. And no, it's not actually about plumbing.
Well, we actually are not plumbers.
These guys have some of the wackiest, most creative builds I've ever seen. They came on my radar last year when they turned a pink Barbie car Mustang into a go-kart, which they eventually turboed. These are my kind of guys. You want to see a sweet E46 truck? Check. How about a snowmobile with wheels in the front? They got it. A lifted Power Wheels Jeep with tube suspension? Easy. These guys are so creative. It's so much fun to guess what they're gonna do next. I love Grindhard. All right, yo, I'll say it right now. Throttle is the truth. Their builds are super clean. Everyone who works there seems like they're having a freaking blast. I looked to my right and there was a giant. And to top it all off, they give away every car they build, which is totally bananas. They really know what they're doing, and some of these builds are just too freaking cool, I can't handle it. A lot of other channels on this list are run by 1 or 2 people, but they have a whole crew over at Throttle, each with their own strengths, and they all seem like really cool guys. Love this channel. All right, the last channel on my list might have over 500K by now. They didn't when I was researching this. I'm keeping them in the video. Some of the other channels on here have pretty humble production value. But what if you want those steezy shots? What if you went to film school and enjoy the finer points of production? Well, you need some gears and gasoline. Gasoline. These guys have been around for years, and I honestly have no idea why they don't have 1 million subs yet. Gears and Gasoline's content varies between high quality vlogs where the guys just work on their project cars and short documentaries that focus on all aspects of car culture and motorsports. Despite the keen eye behind the camera and uber polished editing, you can tell that the Gears and Gasoline team absolutely loves everything cars. They don't let the style get in the way of the substance, even though their style is really, really good, and I admire the hell out of them for that. All right, I've told you about a bunch of channels. They all deserve your attention and subs. Now go watch some stuff, or hell, go make some stuff. Maybe you'll make the list next time. Big thanks to Audible for sponsoring this week's episode. Look, I love to read, but I don't have much time to do it anymore. But I do have a long commute, which is why I use the Audible app to listen to audiobooks. They have tons of great titles to choose from, and Audible members get to choose 3 of them every month. 1 audiobook plus 2 Audible originals. I'm excited to listen to Screwball because I love Beck Bennett and his goofy characters. They are very goofy. Listen at the gym, at the beach, or wherever you enjoy your me time. I take baths. Start listening with a 30-day Audible trial, and your first audiobook plus 2 Audible originals are free. Visit audible.com/wheelhouse or text wheelhouse to 500-500. Support the brands that support Donut. Audible's a great app. Get more knowledge in your brain. If you guys think I should be watching some other channels, hit me up in the comments, tag them, let's get everybody in here, let's make this a party in the comments. Let's really celebrate this community because it's really cool when you think about it, man. All of our fans are super cool and nice, and it's just so awesome, man.
What you got there, Nolan?
My cheesecake. Very important that it gets refrigerated when we're outside because the keys are missing. So, rip.